Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a midge pattern, and this is going to be a Shipmans buzzer. And these midges they're mostly small, midget, small, but they actually can get to be pretty large. They are from size 12 down to into the 20s. And we mostly see the really small things. But the hook that I have in the vise, this is a size 14 standard length hook, and it is a Lively Legs number 305, and it's a barbless dry fly hook. I'm going to use olive thread, and I'm going to start the thread at the rear, and then I'm going to bring it forward. Get that nice base on there. And we're going to stop about an eye length from the eye of the hook. Now the first thing you're going to put on is the breathers and the feelers, I guess you might call them. But what I have here, and what you want to use, is Antron yarn or poly yarn, because this doesn't soak up water, and this is going to be a dry fly, so you don't want something that's going to soak up water. And I have a piece that's long enough, but this is about 1/16 of the amount of the poly yarn off the card. So we're going to tie that in, and we're going to go back. And we stop there. And you could leave it long on both sides. We'll trim it at the end. Now we're going to put in, what you might want to use is a piece of pearl Krystal Flash, or actually any color Krystal Flash you want. You know, midges, there's different colored, you know, ribs and stuff on them. But I'm going to use some GSS. Actually, this is Ice Wing, Pearl Ice Wing. And this stuff comes 8 inches long, so I'm just grabbing a very small pinch of it. And when you get down into the really small sizes, you probably want to use like 2 or 3 strands of this. If you're down into 20 or below, you want more than one. You want at least, I would say, 2 or 3. Or find a way to stretch your Krystal Flash into something real thin, because 2-3 wraps of Krystal Flash will cover a size 22. But I'm going to go ahead and tie this in, and you can see it just by wiping the moisture off my lips, I'm turning it into a nice little rope there. But we're going to go ahead and tie that in. You know, like I said, this is going to be the rib. Put that in my material clip there and trim that off. Now I'm going to make an olive one, so I'm just going to grab some olive Antron, and you could get this down, if you're making several of them, you could get it to where 1 pinch of dubbing will be enough for the whole fly. Turn that slightly so I can get my fingers up there. And we're going to make that noodle. There it is. This is a 14, so I'm going to have it a little bit thicker. But tying this in, I can see tying this in, if you used some hare's ear material for the body, that would be great, but except it soaks up water. But this would make a good mayfly emerger also. And we're going to bring that right up. There we go, perfect. Now we're going to take our rib, again, whatever it may be that you're going to use. I'm going to put Krystal Flash on the ingredients, and we're just going to give this a few wraps. 3 or 4 wraps going up. There we got a nice rib on there. You can see how much this covered. And that was only maybe 8 or 10 pieces of this ice wing, and look at how thin it is. But that's going to work. We'll trim that off. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. Trim our front and back, the breathers and the back one, and make them about the same size, but you know, just make them according to the size of the hook you got there. Now, instead of trying to get a whip finish in there, I'm going to use the half-hitch tool, and I'm going to get that knot underneath that front feeler. And we'll just put 3 or 4 double half hitches in there. I'm also covering the hook that I didn't wrap any thread on, if you can see there. And we'll go ahead and trim that off, put a little bit of head cement on there. I always get it on the bottom. You probably would notice that about me, because usually that's where it's the cleanest. Now, before we finish, you could just take a dubbing teaser, a piece of Velcro. I use the bore cleaning brush, and just tease that out a little bit just to make it, that's Antron, you know, so this little scruffiness to it will actually help float it some more. And I'm just kind of going down with it. Yep. Pull off them really long ones there. See if we could. There we go. And here we have Shipmans buzzer. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please hit the notify button so you don't miss any of my videos. Please visit my sponsors and let them know that I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it there, as always, just send me a message and we'll figure things out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.